just to be able to have this be the first of its kind event and come out here and put on a show, but understanding what this means, and excited to change the narrative.
Huh? So diversity, equity, and inclusion has officially infiltrated the NBA. Let's talk about it. So besides the fact that we just witnessed the worst NBA All-Star game that we've ever seen in life, I mean, it's been getting bad the last decade, right? But this was easily the worst one. People missing wide open dunks, nobody playing defense, which has been a thing before, but this was at an all-time high. They scored 200 points in this game, which is not good for basketball, right? And if you're not going to play defense, at least play defense at the very end. Keep the score close in the fourth quarter so we can see a competitive game. We don't know who's going to win. The East was blowing out the West the entire game. Where's the fun in that, bro? You're robbing the fans. I thought it was about the fans. I thought it was about the consumers, and clearly it's not. You're supposed to give them what they want to see. You're supposed to listen to their feedback. You're not doing that. This is not what people want to see. I'm going to tell you something else people don't want to see. Terrible dunking contest.
They have, let me see if he actually closed his eyes. No, he did not. He did not. No,
and then this late.
No. It looks like he's sneezing right now.
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
Jaylen Brown, don't know what this is, bro. Is this you trying to prove that you can use your left hand? Was this you trying to prove that you can go to the left?
Could it be that the criticism is that he can't go to his left?
Oh, the criticism he can't. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is good.
I mean,
but he hasn't dunked left-handed either.
So you wouldn't be an all-star if you can't go left.
Say what the internet says. Oh, and the lefty dunk. Okay, I see you. He has a left hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
This was terrible. You have better in-game dunks than this, bro. Jumping over these people. What are we doing here, bro? Oh, let's talk about the three-point contest, which was a little bit more entertaining, but it's like, this is what I'm struggling to understand. If you do this for a living, like this is legit what you do for a living, all day long, you don't have to go to Amazon, you don't have to clock into another job, none of that. Your job is to play basketball every single day of the year in some capacity. You're training, you're playing the game, off season, you're preparing. Basketball. Is it hard or unrealistic for me to believe or expect you to make most of the wide open shots in a three-point contest? How are you all missing this many shots in a three-point contest? And this is what you do for a living all year long, and you're the best in the world. It's less than 1% of the entire population that make it to the NBA. And you people are missing a whole bunch of wide open shots? Tell me, what am I missing here? But let's talk about what was probably what I'm hearing most people say was the most entertaining part of the entire All-Star weekend. Steph Curry against, I believe her name is Sabrina, which, by the way, she can shoot the heck out of the ball. Oh my gosh. She did a great job. She finished with 26 points, shooting from NBA three-point line, not WNBA, not college for women. The NBA three-point line killed it. She finished with 26, which was ironically the number that most people ended with in the men's shooting contest. And she finished with 26 on her first try. She can shoot the heck out of that ball. But let's talk about the reason why she's even competing in a men's sporting event, All-Star Weekend for the NBA players. Let's talk about why she even have a special shooting competition against the greatest shooter God has ever created in Steph Curry. Let's talk about the reason why they even put her there to begin with. And we're going to do that by listening to their post-game interview.
Hey, look, you put 26 up there, which was kind of the number of the night, and it took that kind of an effort from him to knock you off, Sabrina.
That was amazing. Just to be able to have this be the first of its kind event and come out here and put on a show, but understanding what this means, and excited to change the narrative and be able to do it alongside the greatest to ever do it.
Change the narrative. What narrative are we talking about? You all shot wide open three-point shots. What narrative are we talking about here? But let's continue to listen.
You know what? When you were growing up and you were playing with the guys, and in middle school you want to play on that team, and they wouldn't let you play on the boys' team. They said you should be playing with dolls. We've come a long way since those days, but you represent so much here on this night.
What does that have to do with basketball? You can play with basketballs and play with dolls. What does that have to do? Are we talking about gender roles here? Like, what does that have to do with basketball? Let's continue to listen.
Just continuing to use my platform, and I think a night like tonight shows a lot of young girls and young boys that if you can shoot, you can shoot, and it doesn't matter if you're a girl or boy. I think it just matters the heart that you have and wanting to be the best that you can be.
No, Stop the cap. First of all, who's ever argued that women can't shoot the basketball? Who? Find me one person who's ever said women can't shoot. I grew up with this family when I was in high school, and the daughter of that family is one of the best hoopers I know. But if you took her and put her on the court with average to below average grown men, she's going to be dominated. That don't change the fact that she's one of the best hoopers I know. To this day, she's one of the best hoopers I know. From a fundamental perspective, from a shooting perspective, all of it. But men and women are different. Changing the narrative. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl. If you can shoot, you can shoot. Nobody ever argued otherwise. You just competed against Steph Curry in a shooting competition, and you lost. And you only lost by 3, but you lost. But let's talk about that. A shooting competition is no defense. A shooting competition is not with larger defenders, quicker defenders, strong defenders, very athletic defenders on you. We're talking about a shooting competition. Not to mention it's a shooting competition that you had nothing but time to prepare for. What are we talking about here? This is the nonsense that they're promoting, and the crowd is just cheering. No, you didn't go one-on-one against Steph Curry. You didn't go one-on-one against LeBron James. You didn't go one-on-one against Jalen Brunson. You shot the ball. You shot wide open jump shots. Nobody ever argued that women can't do that. Look, like I said, she's a great shooter. There's no ifs and buts about that. She's a heck of a shooter. I loved watching her shoot. The rotation, her form, her stance, all of it. Her mechanics. She's a great shooter. But there's levels to this, and it's just different, right? It begs the question, what was the purpose of her? How come she got a special segment with Steph Curry and nobody else did, right? This is for the NBA, but yet she's competing against Steph. Why? Because there's an agenda here, right? And Steph Curry, just for what it's worth, on the side note, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Steph Curry is not a follower of Jesus Christ, in my opinion.
First and foremost, I have to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing me with the talents to play this game. I'm his humble servant right now, and I can't say it enough how important my faith is to how I play the game.
I don't think this man is. From the celebration that he has to right after he finished the competition, look at that. That's not even a natural reaction that you have after shooting a three-pointer. You have to make a concerted effort to do this. Like, what are you doing here? What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means because it's been broken down.
This is the sign of the horns, a curse sign, the 2 fingers extended. This way, spread apart for sort of shotgun blast,
I always figured if I ever met the devil, he'd have dirty fingernails. Go. So that's the sign of the horn, and then what happens? Is that it?
Well, there are other ones, too.
Yeah, what are the other ones?
The other ones, one of them's the pox sign, that's 3 fingers extended.
A pox on you?
A pox on you. During the Middle Ages, this was used.
But we got to get into that. Stephen Curry is not a follower of Jesus Christ. I just want to say that, which makes perfect sense because of some of the nonsense that he's promoting here. What did this competition prove? Nothing. That human beings, whether they be men or women, can shoot, and nobody ever refuted that. You shot wide open jump shots. This is nonsense. I don't know what this is, how this helps anybody. This is another effort of them trying to prove that men and women are equal. How? This is not what people want to see. I don't get it.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.